We begin in Germany, where 3 Americans have landed following a prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Iran. This comes after the international community lifted nuclear sanctions. But as the nuclear sanctions come down, new sanctions against ballistic missile go up. We go to CCTV's Jessica Stone in our newsroom with details. Jessica.
And Susan, 3 Americans are now on their way home after a prisoner swap with Iran. As you mentioned, in total, 5 American prisoners have been exchanged for 7 Iranians held in the U.S. for sanctions violations, and the charges against them will be dropped. Now, the American prisoners first landed in Geneva, Switzerland, before flying to a U.S. military base in Germany for medical evaluation. An American diplomat tweeting a photo of the Washington Post reporter Jason Rezaian, you can see it there, getting off of the plane, and now his wife and mother came to greet him in Iran, so they were also on the plane with him. Meantime, the leaders of both Iran and the United States expressing pride in the results of 2 years of intense diplomacy.
The JPCOA can serve as a model for the settlement of regional issues. We can also use it that way. The JPCOA means the 2 sides that have some differences, they try through negotiations and wisdom, they can settle those issues and come to confidence building.
Whereas Iran was steadily expanding its nuclear program, we have now cut off every single path that Iran could have used to build a bomb. Whereas it would have taken Iran 2 to 3 months to break out with enough material to rush to a bomb, we've now extended that breakout time to a year. And with the world's unprecedented inspections and access to Iran's program, we'll know if Iran ever tries to break out. Now that Iran's actions have been verified, it can begin to receive relief from certain nuclear sanctions and gain access to its own money that had been frozen. And perhaps most important of all, we've achieved this historic progress through diplomacy without resorting to another war in the Middle East.
And Jessica, a bump in the road today. The U.S. is now levying new sanctions against Iran. How big of a setback is this?
Not too significant, really, in terms of the fact that there are already quite a few ballistic missile sanctions levied against Iran by the United States. Remember that back in November, they did test a ballistic weapon, and the UN did verify that. The test does violate a UN Security Council resolution, and the UN may follow suit. But you remember the U.S. initially planned to roll out new sanctions last year and then pulled back after Iran's foreign minister said new sanctions could have derailed the prisoner swap talks. And now, of course, we see the prisoners have been freed, and the U.S. waiting until now to levy these sanctions. Here is what we know about them. The sanctions are against 3 entities and 8 individuals involved in procuring ingredients for Iran's ballistic missile program. The sanction notice mentions a company based in the UAE, which has an affiliate in Hong Kong. And the U.S. and Iran also resolved, Susan, a long-standing financial feud over the weekend. Iran had filed a claim against the U.S. at The Hague over a $400 million trust fund used to buy American military equipment more than 30 years ago. And they say the U.S. has agreed to pay Iran back with interest, $1.3 billion in interest, but that is less than Iran had asked for. Susan.
Jessica Stone in the newsroom. Thank you for that.